Hi guys, welcome back to Nichful Thinking. My name is Nichelle, Ohshells on all social media, and this is a podcast all about what I be thinking. This is a self-development podcast where we use our experiences in the world around us to really dig into what all of this even means. All right, so yeah, hi. Happy Wednesday. I hope all of you are having a great start to your year. I know last week was our first, I believe it was the first episode of the new year. This week, the second episode. Come on, 2 for 2. Come on, 2 for 2. Last week's episode was titled Get Good at Averaging Out and Start Playing Catch with Yourself. That was a really good episode. And I've been feeling that concept a lot. And so I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of that episode. Overall, in that episode, I was diving into how do you truly understand who you are and where you are right here today, while simultaneously forecasting and setting goals for the version of yourself that you want to be tomorrow. It's really about being on solid ground and like really understanding who you are and what your power is right here, right now is a huge part of setting those goals for the future. There are people who have something in them where they never really had an issue with setting goals or being able to recognize who they are, where they are, etc. But for those of us who know what it's like to be like, I don't know, like maybe I don't know, what do you think? Like who do you that episode was for the who what for those people, the people that say I don't know a lot, the people that feel like they're a little bit all over the place, people that feel like they're a bit more task oriented, like you give me the next step. I don't know. Realistically, it was an episode to encourage people to slow down and recognize where, you know what I mean, where you are literally right now. What have you learned? What have you grown from? What are you interested in? What are your skills? Start being that person, really embodying that person right here, right now, and then forecast from that space. But continue to be who you are right here, right now, right? So hopefully that was a blessing. Hopefully that was helpful. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about making changes. So I went to an offsite with the company that I work out of. I'm a consultant, HR consultant. I'm an HR specialist with my client, and the company that I consult out of, my firm, we had an offsite, and during that offsite, it's essentially about how to be the best, consultant you can be, how to really help your client, how to really be in your job, in your role. And for me, there were a few things that stood out. But one of the things that stood out was it's like this framework that HR professionals use or should use or can use, I should say, when making changes in an organization. And my mind immediately said, aha, I always saw HR as the heartbeat of a company. If there's policy changes, if there's different procedures, if there's information that needs to be given out to the company, you have different departments, but they all flow in and out of HR. And so for me, I like to think about my life and the way that I structure certain ideas through that lens. So this was the meat and potatoes of it. I still even got the book. Hello. All right. So managing change, I broke it down into this acronym. It's called ADKAR. 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 I don't know about you, but I love me a good acronym. Okay. So A stands for awareness. D stands for desire. K stands for knowledge. A stands for ability. R stands for reinforcement. One more time, ADKAR. So awareness, the why. Okay. Whenever you're looking to make a change in the organization, and in this case, in your organization and within yourself, building new habits, shifting the way that you're thinking about X, Y, and Z, the first thing you need to do is have awareness. Last week's episode talked way more about that, where you need to understand, like, average out, like, who are you? What did you overcome? And what have you been able to do? Like, what do you need to work on? What do you need to focus on? Like, let's build up some awareness. You could do that through journaling. You could do that through recording yourself, like I am right here. Whenever I have episodes, I don't watch them back, right? Like, I'm not watching them back. Guess what? In the summertime, I might have the pull to say, well, let me see what I said in that one episode last year and just see what that says back to me. Like, you need to have something that bounces back to you, that mirrors back to you to help you with your awareness. I pray a lot. I ask God to make things clear and plain. I like clarity. And slowing down, listening to your body, even if you start off with the awareness of how your body feels, right? The ache that you've been feeling in that left arm, let's really think about why that is, right? When did you strain it? That bruise, that random bruise you got on your hip, when did you bump into something? Like, really slow it down and start being aware. Mindfulness, grounding practices. Like in school, they would say, how many squares do you see in your surroundings? How many circles can you spot in your surroundings? Look for 4 triangles in your surroundings. And it would ground you. It would make you quite literally take in specifically what is around you. Awareness. The D stands for desire. The desire is the will. So now that we are aware of what needs to be changed, we then need to tap into the will. Okay? You need to have that will. You need to find, and for me specifically, the will comes from how much I love myself. The will comes from knowing, having a knowing that I am here for a specific reason. And my part and having the understanding that there is 2 parts of this project, like this Nichelle project, there's 2 parts of it. A piece of it is mine and a whole heap and lot of it is God's, right? So if I'm co-creating with the creator and we doing this thing for real, I need to do my part of the project. I need to be aware, and I also need to build up that love within myself so that I have the will. There are certain people that certain folk, like, you would never be able to talk about without hearing my mouth, right? Without seeing me protect them, without me jumping up and like, oh, so and so's, we get the will to do things when our environment shifts. We get the will to do things when our perspective shifts on the importance of that thing. I am my biggest responsibility. I am my biggest priority. And that's where, for me specifically, the will comes from. That's self-love. There's been seasons, and I can only say this because of hindsight, where there's been seasons where I did not have the will to get up and brush my teeth alone. Like when depression sits in, when you're so stagnant, when you, well, I don't want to place what it is that can take the will away from someone. You know what that is, you know? And there's some people on this earth who are like, I was born with the will and I'm just here with audacity. I'm ready to go, you know? But for those of you that are like struggling with that desire part, start grounding yourself in your body so that you can be more aware. And it's always easier doing it with the crust, I call it, the physical being. Whereas, like, I have the will to change because X, Y, and Z. That's a great journal prompt, actually. If you're stuck on that desire part, then maybe we need to journal a little bit more about the will to change, the will to be, the will to get to where you want to get to, the will to recognize that you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Like, the combination of it all, okay? Okay, we're at the CAR part of the ADKAR, is knowledge. What do you need? Right? So you have the awareness, you have the desire, or you're building up your desire, you're building up your awareness, we're sharpening these things. There is a knowledge gap. Okay? There's a knowledge gap somewhere. You know? I wanted to be in corporate America because of I would receive this kind of salary. The will to do that was realistically me not wanting to not have this accolade under my belt and not feeling like I achieved if I didn't have this bachelor's degree. That was enough for me. I was like, hello, this is just what you do, right? And then the knowledge gap there was, okay, now I have X amount of semesters and credits that I need to take in order to deeply understand the fundamentals of this thing. There's going to be a whole lot of on the job training, but there is a foundational knowledge piece that needs to be filled before I get thrown into the deep blue sea, right? So that's that part. What do you need? So you have your awareness intact, your desire is there. What is it that you need to know? What do you not know? The quote, you don't know what you don't know, is something that comes to mind. However, when you have a goal and you build up the awareness of who you are, you make that goal from who you are and what you're good at and what you can see and what your visions are, et cetera, et cetera. Your desire is building up. Your self-love is building up. I'm not going to let me down. Nah, I'm not going to let me down. When you start building that up, okay, I want a 4-pack. I want a 4-pack, okay, because the version of Nichelle that I see has a 4-pack. Okay, that desire is there. I love myself too much not to achieve that 4-pack. So what do I not know that I need to know? Okay, what gets me a 4-pack? Hello, Google that. What gets me a 4-pack? Okay. Oh, these kind of foods. Oh, okay. What kind of food is that? Okay, is protein needed, or is it more of a fiber thing, or is it a combination? What do I need to know? All right. So get that knowledge. A, ability, skill upgrade. I want the 4-pack, right? But I can't do a crunch to save my life. Are there variations? There's a skill to build here? Okay, not just the knowledge, but also the skill, the practice. That reminds me of faith without works is dead. So you can have all the knowledge, all the logical knowledge you want, right? You have all this knowing inside your noggin. You not putting it into practice, the skill is not being sharpened. You sitting there with all this knowing, okay? You sitting here with all this faith, and you're not really moving. So your body, nothing can become second nature to you because you ain't even put the reps in. You got to put reps in, and that's the skill building exercise of it all. Like when it comes to, for me, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, discipline sounded like a scary thing. It was so scary. I'm like, what? It's like it felt like something like you must do. It felt very much like a hammer discipline. It was like hammery. And then I went through the ADKAR, and I was like, okay, wait, hold on, right? You got to pause, get to your awareness. What is my desire? What is my why? Where is my will to change? What do I need to know? What is it that I'm not tapping into knowledge wise? That's where some inspiration comes about, and you're like, ooh, huh. Now your perspective around it is changing a little bit. Now you're like, not only do I want a 4-pack because it's gonna make me look good. Hold on, I want a 4-pack because my lower back be aching, and I know if I have a stronger core, that might alleviate some of that. Hold up, there's more. Wait a minute. There's a few options here. There's a few reasons why here. It's not just crust. Now we get into the mantle. Now it's baking in a way where it's a little bit different, right? Now, not only do I have the awareness that I want to change something, the desire that I want to change something, I'm building the knowledge around the thing that I want to change and adapt to. Now I'm ready to build up that skill. Now I'm ready to put in that work. And that leads me to the last part, the R, reinforcement. Bake in the new normal is what I put here. That is not what they said during our offsite, but that's essentially what it is. Bake it in, reinforce, 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 reinforcements, repetition, reinforce it. ADKAR, 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 ADKAR. Yeah? You gonna backslide. You might have a moment or two. There's some people that just do stuff cold turkey. They just be like, this is what I want to do. Boom, boom, boom. They just slide on into the R part and they just putting them reps in. But for those of you that need it to be broken down a little bit more, really reflect on the ADKAR. Okay? This is something that is not only what I think, but it's also a part of human psychology. Like I said, HR is the heartbeat of the company. And a lot of the things that I've learned comes from more of that scholarly side of things that were like, peer reviewed and journal studies and has worked in the past and is like adapting itself over and over and over again. But during this time where I'm like where I'm being introduced with different concepts and like how to be a good consultant and what are the best practices, and I have a few different HR lessons in here that can be applied to life that I will definitely bring to this pod. But I want you to really lock in on the ADKAR. January, February, March, let's really lock in on the ADKAR of it all. Yeah? Again, awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. ADKAR, ADKAR. That's what this episode is all about. This is what this year is all about. Awareness, slow it down. Write it in front of your face so that you have a mirror to bounce back to you. So you have your awareness that is not just locked inside of your mind, but it's also, you ever seen those people that like write Post-its all over the place? Wait, Being Mary Jane, I think she did that. People that talk to themselves in the mirror. It's an actual psychological, it's science behind it. Like it's science. If you want to reprogram yourself, if you want to truly make a change, your awareness, and you can't get locked into your awareness because that's when the scary emotions come up. That's when you get anxious and now you depressed and you sinking into the couch. If you saw what is it, Big Mouth, and it's like that that depression cat. She's like, ooh, yeah, just sit down, just sleep, just lay down. No. You don't just stop at awareness. You go, this is what I want to change. Write it down. If you got to write that thing down for a month, 2 months, 3 months, sure, whatever. Make sure that you have an action with your awareness. Build up your desire. We got to build up that love. You got to get grounded. Take that yoga class. Listen to that mantra in the background. Read the Bible in a way that is targeting the love that God has for us all. Call on the Holy Spirit. Mother Holy Spirit, please activate. I don't feel good right now, and I would like to feel good. Start jumping. If you are a part of Chinese TikTok, girl, we cupping, we jumping, we gyrating, we moving. Build up that desire. Okay? If you need to talk to somebody, you probably do. Get you a professional. I don't want to do it all by myself. You don't have to. You better reach out, and all I need is one. Someone please go on social media and start marinating on creators who are talking about that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who got that night? Maybe you need some ASMR. Something about it just kind of tickles your brain. Maybe you need to tap into some music. That's for me. Ooh, music just heightens things for me. It radiates it. Build up that desire, yeah? Ooh, girl, I know what it feels like to be stuck in the awareness of it all and be like, I don't care. I don't even care. Build up that desire. Knowledge. Be a student again. Yeah? I have an episode that talks about the importance of being a student. If I don't, then I will create it because I'm either projecting right now, like forecasting, or it's something that was already done. It will be done. You know what I mean? Build up that knowledge, yeah? And then you need to get real good about the ability. I'm sharpening up my skills. I'm sharpening up my toolbox. I'm minding my business. I have the knowledge, and now I'm sharpening up my ability to do the thing, to get towards the change. I'm freaking bear crawling towards that 4-pack. Hello, somebody. That's why we have vision boards. So it's something in front of us that we can constantly program our mind to see, so that our awareness is not something that just stays trapped here, but it's over here, it's over there, it's over here, it's in the sky. And all of a sudden you see people jogging in the street. You're like, okay, hold up. The matrix is shifting a little bit. Once you get that ability, I went to the gym this morning and I felt like I could run through a brick wall. I feel like I could do anything under Jesus Christ that strengthens me. I almost procrastinated recording this and was like, oh, I'll do it after. No. I was like, you know what? No, we're sharpening our ability. It's just, if I want it to be second nature, I got to do it. You're going to get pushback from yourself. Your ego is going to be like, you don't have to do it right now. You go, shut up. Stop it. I know I don't have to. I'm going to, because I said I would. And I don't let myself down because I have the desire. I have the will to change. Hey, play this episode back over and over again. Because what do you need? Reinforcement. Reinforce. And shut up. Okay? If it's not a professional or somebody who is helping you with one of the quadrants, you don't need to reveal everything. This is for you. These 3 months is personal. It's for you, Nichelle. So, yeah. I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. If you are here for the ADKAR of it all, let me know, okay? Comment, leave a review. I want 5 stars. I'm dead serious. If you care about me, you would put 5 stars right now and you would write a review. On Apple Pod, on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this. If you're watching on YouTube on the Friday that this drops, hi. You like my sweater? This is my favorite sweater. I post in this sweater probably once every quarter, minimum. I love her. I think I got her from, where did you from? You know what? It's in one of them videos anyway. Follow us at Nichful Thinking on Instagram and on TikTok. Make sure you follow your host, me, Nichelle, at Ohshells, OHSHELLS, and we'll reconvene next week, okay? All right. Be great. ADKAR, yeah? Love you. Mean it. Bye.